sorry, that's for a Democrat show.
Let me know when you're ready.
No matter what the technical difficulty is, this man is a professional. He goes all the way.
What you represent to them is freedom.
Was an extremely great conservative commentator. We're tearing it up on Wednesday night. This is awesome. This
will allow me to retort.
Well, this is Jersey Joe for the Reaver of Common Sense show. 8 p.m. on shrmedia.com.
Actually, I just totally screwed up. This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show. And welcome to the Reaver of Common Sense. I am your host. That's right, Jersey Joe, and I'm making sense out of the senseless. The Jersey Takeover is here. We have expanded to 2 hours every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Do you want to watch the broadcast? Hey, that's easy. Just go to Reaver.1, click on the live stream. That is also where you can join the chat now. Just go to Reaver.1, click on the live stream, watch a broadcast, listen to the broadcast, and join the chat. You could also go to shrmedia.com still and join the chat room through there. The heck? Oh, I can hear. I'm hearing voices in my head. Yeah, it's one of those days already. Now, if you want to support the show, or do you want to have a survival bracelet, an oh shit bracelet, if anything ever goes wrong? Ooh, that would help if I turn the webcam on. There we go. It is an oh shit bracelet, and it's better to have one and not need it and look good than need it and not have one and not look good. They're handmade, custom-made, to ordered. They're made right here in the United States because, well, I make them. Yes, I get bored. I get very bored very easy. So I've been making these for years. I decided to put them up. And, well, they are on Reaver.1/shop. They are on REAVER.ONE/SHOP. That is Reaver.1 again. REAVER.ONE/SHOP. And yes, I think I did start to screw up the spelling. So, hang on. I forgot how to. That's weird. I forgot how to do that. Do it the old-fashioned way. There we go. I couldn't remember how. I thought I had an app that I could just push a button and turn the ringer off on my phone. And I can't remember. Total brain fart. Yes, indeed. And no problem, Jenna. I got your message. Sorry about that. And that sucks. It really does. I hate waking up sick. Especially when you go to bed, you're feeling fine. You wake up and you're like, I did not go to bed like this. What the hell happened in my sleep? So there's some breaking news going on, and there's still a shakeup going on in Trump's campaign. Paul Manafort has resigned from the Trump campaign. Saw it coming a mile away. He got a new campaign manager. He added some people. Doesn't exactly brain fart. Total brain fart. Oh, my God. It's just a shakeup. They're trying to... They want those poll numbers up, whether it's rigged or not. They want those numbers up, so it's next to impossible for them to rig them. So there's a little shakeup. Manafort has turned his resignation in. Trump said this morning Paul Manafort offered, and I accepted his resignation from the campaign. I am very appreciative for his great work in helping to get us where we are today, and in particular his work guiding us through the delegate and convention process. Paul is a true professional, and I wish him the greatest success, Trump stated in a press release on Friday. This comes, the resignation comes days after Stephen K. Bannon took a leave of absence from Breitbart News to serve as Trump's campaign CEO, and Kellyanne Conway was promoted to campaign manager. It also comes after numerous news reports surfaced about Manafort's past work with Ukraine. Well, you know the Democrats are going to try to make a mountain out of a molehill. I think Trump and Manafort are cutting it off at the pass, trying to end it before it actually becomes something. And can you blame the guy for doing that? The man is a very loyal man, but sometimes you got to do what's best for yourself. Oh, I hate cold coffee. Right now, Donald Trump and Mike Pence are in Louisiana talking to flood survivors, surveying the flood damage. And where's Hillary? Home sleeping. Well, I don't know exactly where she is. I know she's not in Louisiana. Where's our president? Well, as Louisiana floods, Milwaukee burns, our president is golfing. Our president is on vacation again. It's a never-ending vacation. But then again, when he's on vacation, he can't do a lot of damage, so it's actually kind of, I think, good for us. The scary part is, and not a lot of people are realizing this, we got 2 months left, people. 2 months left until Obama gives dictators control of the internet. Yes, dictators. President Obama, if you remember, signed over the ICANN, which is the Internet Corporation for Assigned Names and Numbers, to the multilateral body. He just gave it away, and it'll be turned over in 2 months. Under the supervision of Obama's cronies and the Secretary of Commerce, Penny Perkins, a billionaire Harris, who's, and campaign bundler with no technological, oh my God, am I tongue-tied already? That's not good. Technological experience and a history of failure in the subprime loan industry, the administration ignored critics of the plan. They point out that transferring control of domain names to a body like the UN's International Telecommunication Union could leave autocrat nations like Russia, China, and even Iran in charge of the world's most important free media. This is another step to goddamn globalism. This is another step to a one-world nation and the UN taking over. And those that think this is nothing but a conspiracy theory, look at how much power he is trying to turn over to the UN already. Get your head out of the ass. I don't care whose ass it's in. Get your head out of it. Start looking this stuff up and start realizing just because someone says it's a conspiracy theory does not make it a conspiracy theory. Get your head out of your ass and start looking, because the internet is going to cost more. There's going to be more fees associated with it. Sorry, I'm seeing some stuff. One of the things that Hillary talks about and Trump's talking about is their plan to fight opioid addiction. And I'm sorry, I know I'm jumping subjects, and I apologize. We'll go back to this the internet in a minute. The problem that's going on is, yes, there's people that are abusing it, and it is a issue in our country worldwide. But the problem is they've caused such a ruckus over it. Now you got people who are in extreme pain who are not being treated because the doctors are afraid to treat the patients. Doctors are afraid to actually be doctors anymore. When you got DEA, FDA, FBI, all these agencies ransacking a doctor's office at will, and if there's one I that's not dotted, that doctor can lose his license. Yes, there is these doctors that hand it out like candy, yes. But you're making it so bad that you have people who are living in pain that can't get any pain meds because they're afraid, that their doctors are afraid to treat the patients anymore. They're afraid, and rightfully so. I mean, we have a government that's overreaching. Now they're really getting into the medical, and now they're telling doctors really what they have to do and how they have to treat their patients when the government does not have a fucking medical degree. And yes, I'm running into some of this. With the health issues I'm having, I live in pain. I'm not getting anything to alleviate that pain. Doctors are too goddamn scared to do anything anymore. And yes, I've had doctors tell me that right out. They're too afraid. They mess up one time, they lose their livelihood. And you have Hillary Clinton, who said in a debate that she knows better of what needs to be done for people, and she will have the government telling doctors when and when they can't prescribe. The government have no medical, these people, Hillary, have no medical background. They're putting pressure on doctors because of a few bad doctors. And it makes me sick to know that there's people out there, because if it's happening to me, I know it's happening to hundreds and thousands of others. People are being put in pain because a doctor is afraid of the government. And that is not a good thing that we should be in. Do we need to do something to help these people? Yes. Do we need to destroy people's lives that are in pain? I get sick of it when I hear these politicians talking and they don't fucking know a goddamn thing about this. When you're in pain, it destroys your whole life. And these politicians don't know shit about medical. And if we go by the modern theory, especially if you teach 3 classes, you're an expert. Well, I guess I'm an expert. I've taught 3 classes or more. Way more. And they're now treating pain, here, take an aspirin or something. It's that stupid. Doctors are afraid to be doctors anymore because of the government. They're too afraid, number one, winding up in jail. Number two, losing everything that they work so hard for. And like I said, I understand that there's abuse of the system. I understand that there's people that are getting addicted to pain meds. And to be honest, I can't see how you're addicted to them. I really can, because there's been times where I've been giving them long periods of time before my neck surgery. I was on them for a while because of the accident and everything. Then I had the neck surgery. Pain went away. I stopped taking them after like 2 years of being on them. Just done. So I'm not saying there's not an issue. I don't see it. I really don't. Heavy drinker for many, 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 many goddamn years, and I had a major hangover one day, and I was laying on the couch. I mean, one of those where you don't want to move. You're like in and out of consciousness on the couch. I looked over, and then my daughter was playing on the floor. And she was very young, very, very young. And I thought to myself, why do I want to be having hangovers and then have to explain to my daughter, or my wife's going to have to be like, shh, Daddy's got a hangover. No. And that's when I'm done. I mean, it's not that I quit drinking. I might have a drink every now and then. I got scotch on top of the fridge. I'll have a glass every now and then. And it's, I don't drink like I used to, but it was just a little switch went off and said, nope, this is not for me anymore. I have a daughter to worry about, and I don't need to be sitting there trying to explain to my daughter what a hangover is, and then what is that going to do to her in the years to come. So it was done. But I speaking of my daughter, so I have days where, like yesterday, I wasn't on air. I was in extreme pain. We had storms in the area. When those storms come in or anywhere nearby, shit, they don't have to be in Florida. I've had it where there's storms in Texas. So it changes the barometric pressure down here. And it's put me in extreme pain. It was one of those days I couldn't do it. I didn't do Wednesday night show. I didn't do yesterday's show. And yesterday my daughter came home from school and she's like, how you doing, Dad? I'm like, I'm still in pain. And I heard her playing Minecraft and she's always asking me. So I got up and I came out and she's like, Dad, you don't have to. I know you're having a bad pain day. Why don't you just go lay down? And I'm just sitting there. I got a 12-year-old that understands what I'm going through when she shouldn't be. I think I got the best daughter around. So anyways, I still sat down and played. And she's like, can I get you some drink? Can I do this? And I was like, no, sweetie, just sit down and let's play Minecraft. So then she went and I set up all these, a buttload of TNT to blow something up. And I'm sitting there still putting it together. She walks over and ignites it on me. Oh, I was so mad because I had to run away. I couldn't watch it blow up because I was running away. I was like, you little witch. And she's just sitting there chuckling away at me. I like finding mountains, digging into it, setting a large amount of explosive, and blowing mountains up. I know if the NSA is listening to this, they're like, oh my God, we got a terrorist. He wants to blow a mountain up. Rally up the troop. We got a white conservative that wants to blow up a mountain. Wait a minute. Any helicopters flying over yet? It wouldn't surprise me sitting here talking about Minecraft and blowing mountains up in Minecraft that they wouldn't just like, oh my God, that's code words. What was worse, me and Crash used to play this game It sucks. Battle pirates. The premises of the game, and the game was great. The company running it has run it into the ground. They have pissed off the players so goddamn bad, and they figured that the players would always be there. Well, the players pretty much, we're out of here. There's still people playing it. Yes, the game's still going, but it doesn't, from what I understand, have what it was back in the day. So we would talk to each other and be like, all right, did you get this weapon? And we're going back and forth. Well, we need this armor. And we just one day, because our phones kept cutting out on us for no reason, it would cut out. And that's where, if you ever listen to the show, Southside Mutt, if we lose connection, because he's calling into the show, the joke is the NSA cut us off. Because it was, oh my God. And then if we started talking about the NSA, we would lose signal. We swear to God the NSA was listening to our conversation talking about battle pirates because we were talking about weapons and attacking bases and all that. We really think they were listening and confused with what we were talking about. And we're surprised we never had any, men in black suits come kicking down our door and, scaring the shit out of our families. It would not surprise us with this government. But back to what we were originally talking about, which is Obama gave away the internet. The internet is something we created, America created. And it was a gift we gave to the world of free speech, And now it's going to be controlled by the likes of Russia and China and Iran because Obama wants to give away this control of the internet for some magical beans. Yeah, the only thing those magical beans are going to do is make them fart. Now, he didn't even get permission from Congress. So they're still, from what I understand, trying to stop him. I'm not going to hold my breath with this Congress we have. So now Obama administration plans to phase out use of private for-profit prisons to house federal inmates. I swear he's just trying to do as much damage as he can on his way out the door. He is trying to do as much damage as he can before he leaves. Hang on. Ryan Loach is talking, and they're now trying to say it was a language barrier difference, that the cop was trying to hold him there, but he was also trying to take money from him to let him leave, and they didn't understand between the language barrier, yada yada. I don't know. I don't know at this point. It'll get straightened out. Well, with this administration, you never know. But it is that time. You're listening to the Reaver of Common Sense right here on SHR Media, High Plains Pundit Radio, ICRN Network, Red Nation Rising Radio, YouTube, Speaker, and iTunes. We will be right back.
listening to the SHR Media Network.
Now, at Brownells, we know you may have only one shot to harvest that trophy, so we have thousands of accessories and replacement parts to improve your chances. We know how much you love to shoot, so our gunsmiths articles and videos will help you do more and get more out of your guns. And we also value your hard work and money. That's why only Brownells backs up everything we sell with a 100% unconditional lifetime guarantee. Brownells, the world's largest supplier of firearm accessories and gunsmithing tools.
My name is Chris Peranto, call sign Tonto. I was with the Global Response Staff. We were the security element for the Central Intelligence Agency in Benghazi, Libya on 9/11/2012. Myself and my team responded to an attack that killed Ambassador Chris Stevens, Sean Smith, and two of my teammates, Tyrone Woods and Glenn Doherty. Radical Islam is basically terrorism in a nutshell. It wants to not only put down Western values, it wants to kill anybody that supports those Western values, which is freedom, which is Christianity, and which is also anything that looks poorly on Sharia law. We've allowed it again to grow into something that it shouldn't be, and it's becoming stronger and stronger every day that we don't lead from the front. Obama and Hillary, by avoiding the phrase radical Islam, they're being politically correct. They don't see it for what it is, and that's straight up destroying the Western world. Radical Islam doesn't have a fear. They will give up their lives. They will detonate themselves. They will do anything they can to fulfill Sharia law and kill the infidels. If we're not able to even say radical Islam, the word radical Islam, there's no way we can fight it. There's no way we can defeat it. The United States of America doesn't lead from behind. We're always setting the example. If not, we're going to see terrorism get bigger and bigger, and eventually it's just going to be continual lone wolf attacks in the United States. And I don't want that to happen to my kids. I don't want to see my family go through that. Please join me in waking up Washington in this fight on radical Islam, seeing the threat that it really is. Sign up at leadingfromthefront.org.
Breaking news. According to the latest report coming out of SHR Media, a merchandise store to support both the Reaver of Common Sense and SHR Media has just been unleashed to the general public. Be forewarned that this site can be contagious and numerous items can be purchased to support the best news programming. Go to Reaver.one website and click on the store link to check out the merchandise.
Listening to Reaver of Common Sense, hosted by my dad, Jersey Joe. Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch the Reaver of Common Sense show, hosted by Jersey Joe, right here on shrmedia.com and highplainsdailynews.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else, so consider this your fair warning.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians,
You got a business. You didn't build that.
a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean.
Dude, I'm not saying Kafka was stupid, bro.
Sackhead Clint.
All good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
Also starring Sacco as the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, 'cause I'm drinking.
They are the Sackheads Radio Show. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on shrmedia.com.
Every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can catch the Southside Mutt Show with its host, the Jersey Boys, Jersey Joe and Crash, right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio, where we will be digging up the dirt.
Times are dark. The people misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation in confusion needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, High Plains Talk Radio, Live Rebooting Liberty, and YouTube for a unique brand of commentary on the unpleasant blind guide. Because truth is not always pleasant.
If you miss a show, don't worry. You can catch the replays two ways, rebootingliberty.com or the Reaver of Common Sense.com. While you're there on Reaver of Common Sense, don't forget, drop in your email and keep up to date on everything going on, or click the like button on the Facebook widget. Now on to the Reaver of Common Sense.
Listening to the SHR Media Network.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show. And welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense. I am your host, Jersey Joe, and I'm making sense out of the senseless. The Jersey Takeovers here. We have expanded to 2 hours every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you want to watch a broadcast of the show, you can. It's very easy. You go to Reaver.1, click on the live stream. While you're there, you can join the live chat. I've now added a live chat to the Reaver of Common Sense webpage. Reaver.1 webpage. Well, you can't get there through reaverofcommonsense.com, Reaver.1 or JerseyJoe.1. Any one of those will take you right to the Reaver.1 webpage, and I try to make it as easy as possible for everybody. I'm getting attacked by ants again. I spray, and I can't find their hideout. And thank you, Jenna. Sometimes the computer is doing a little process, and it'll cause some of that static. Sometimes I can't control it, sweetie. Sorry about that. Damn it. I got ants just... I can't find where they're coming from. Dang it. I'm going to have to go on a major hunt. Oh. The problem is down here we've had a lot of rain for Florida. All right. I mean, I'm not complaining about it. My yard, my flowers, my plants love it. Problem is it pushes some of these, they're like sugar ants. I don't know if they're exactly sugar ants. There's these small black ants. And it pushes them inside. They come looking for, to get out of the wetness, basically. So they find every way into people's houses. And they're more annoying than anything. I think I may have found their entrance. I just happened to look over. I saw one of them running around on the wall. I'll take a look at it after the show, or actually the next break. Because I am the great ant hunter. Yeah. But back to this turning over control of the ICANN, which is basically the internet. The Republican-controlled House passed legislation in 2014 to defund the ICANN transfer, and in 2015 to provide Congress with a 30-day period to review it when it happens. Earlier this year, Cruz and Duffy introduced the Protecting Internet Freedom Act to prevent the transfer without congressional approval. But while the bill has been debated, the administration has moved ahead. The Washington Examiner reports with a transfer scheduled October 1st. I don't see how anybody could be backing this that agrees with freedom of speech, that wants a free internet. turning this over to the UN is it's going to be a censorship on it. They're going to give in and start censoring the internet, people. No, I mean, it may not happen here in America immediately, but what we say is going to be censored from other countries. It's slowly starting, but with the UN in control, they will bow down, and they will do it for these countries. Nothing good can come out of turning the internet over to the UN. There was nothing wrong with the way things were being done. It's not good, people. Not good at all. And I love the message that Trump is sending now. There's always the talks about how the Democrats are for the black community. And Trump came out and said that we reject the bigotry of Hillary Clinton. Tuesday in West Bend, Wisconsin, at a campaign rally, Republican presidential nominee Donald Trump says we reject the bigotry of Hillary Clinton, which panders to and talks down to communities of color and sees them only as votes. That's all they care about, not as individual human beings worthy of a better future. They have taken advantage of them. She doesn't care at all about hurting people of this country or suffering she has caused them. And she's meaning she and her party officials. There has been tremendous suffering because of what they have brought. The black community has been taken for granted for decades by the Democrat Party, and look how they are doing. Seriously, they always talk about how they are for the black community. What has the Democrat Party done for the black community besides give them lip service? Look at these major cities run by Democrats. Just look at them. Look at Detroit, Milwaukee, Chicago, Philadelphia, Atlanta. Look at the issues and the debt in those cities. These are not cities run by Republicans. They are run by Democrats. They pander and say all this crap to the black community to get them to vote for them. They blame the Republicans for all the issues. And how many of these cities actually have Republicans running it? They have used racism as a fear-mongering tool to get them reelected time and time and time again. They pander to the fears of the black community when the whole time it has been the Democrats who have tried to literally kill the black community. It's this fake outrage the Democrats give. And they always come out with the same rhetoric, which I don't understand how the black community hasn't picked up on. They've been saying the same thing for years, that Republicans are racist and this and that, and every candidate just happens to be racist. And they buy into it time and time again. They play into the fears of the black community. When the ones that are hurting the black community are the Democrats. Look at the policies that are in all these cities, people. Look at the policies. Especially a lot of these cities, they ban guns. They don't want guns in their city. And yet there's some of the highest crime rates because people are not armed. Fox News is showing pictures of Obama golfing while Louisiana is flooding. What's funny is, remember, Bush didn't get down to Louisiana during Katrina fast enough, and the media crucified him. Well, here we have a president on vacation and hasn't even spoken out about it. And yet, the media is pretty silent on that. The one thing, going back to conversations of the black community and the Democrats, there's a lot of blacks that have woken up underneath Obama. Because what has Obama done for the black community? He promised them the moon and gave them a block of cheese. And there's a lot that are waking up and saying underneath him, they started to see really the bullshit of the party. Wait, just look into this with a neutral eye, with an unbiased eye, and look at the two parties for actually what has happened through history. The Republicans are not trying to knock, belittle, step on anybody. But that's the only way the Democrats can get elected is through fear-mongering, false information, and pandering. Look at how hard they're having trouble now juggling that because they've pandered to the Muslims, they pandered to the gay community. And what are you having right now? The Muslims are killing the gay community, and they're trying to still juggle it, and they're having trouble. Really, it should be giving them a lot more problems than it is right now. The gay community should be waking up massively and saying, hey, look at this. During Trump's August 16th speech in West Bend, Wisconsin, Donald Trump stressed that Hillary Clinton is out of touch with the dangers Americans feel in turbulent times because she, as a member of the political class, enjoys being surrounded by security 24/7. Yes, so is Trump. But Hillary is the one that's trying to restrict your ability to arm yourself. She is the one that wants to ban guns. And yes, she has said it. When she says we need to look at the Australian gun control, Australia banned guns. It was a government confiscation of guns. So yes, she does want to ban guns by her own words. Trump does not. Trump understands that if he has security and armed security around him, why shouldn't the everyday person be allowed to carry a gun to protect themselves? The security that Hillary Clinton enjoys keeps her indifferent to the struggles, in this instance, of the black community, endangers inner cities. And because she can take her safety for granted, she feels no compunction over supporting gun control laws that endanger poor black single moms and others in inner cities. Gun control endangers these valuable citizens by making it more difficult for them to get a gun they need for self-defense. It's easy for Hillary Clinton to turn a blind eye to crime when she has her own private security force that, by the way, carries guns. Trump then went on to reference the Second Amendment and saying that it applies to every citizen, not just the political class. He went on to say that he believes all Americans, not just the powerful, are entitled to security. For those who are against Trump because of Second Amendment, they are afraid what he's going to do. Since day one of his campaign, he has admitted that he was wrong years ago on the AR ban. He was misinformed. And you attack him for that when he comes out and says, I was misinformed and my sons taught me about weapons and now I understand better. And you attack him for learning, which we want people to do. This is the hypocrisy of the Never Trump group. People learn, change their minds, get educated like we've been trying to do for years. And what do these Never Trumps do? Attack the people for it because of their past ideology, where they were misinformed. Well, I welcome people that say, hey, you know what? I used to have this opinion. But you know what? I got educated, and now I think a little differently, and I understand better of what is everybody's rights. Since Trump began his campaign, he has been talking about arming the citizens, how they have the right to be armed, how they have the right to protect themselves. And he reacted to the November 13th Paris attack by stressing that armed citizens could have prevented the horror show that took 130 lives. That was a city with gun control. Automatic weapons were banned. And how did that turn out? I'm not saying everybody should be walking around with a machine gun. I'm not saying that. But you know what? That city, it was illegal for people to carry weapons. And how did that turn out? And during January 10th, 2016, airing of Meet the Press, he said, armed citizens remind bad guys that bullets go both ways. There's that old adage. An armed society is a polite society. In Wisconsin, Trump signaled that Clinton and the political class should not be the only Americans with armed security that could shoot back. Rather, black parents and single adults who live in fear in inner cities should also be able to acquire the guns they need to keep themselves and their family safe. Along with education, training. And I've said it time and time again, once you get a gun, the training does not end. Your education does not end. You need to know how that weapon reacts. Everybody deserves the same right for security as Hillary Clinton does, as President Obama does. Now, I'm not saying everybody should have armed security, but there's no reason why I can't be armed to protect my family. There's no reason why when we go out in public, I cannot be armed to protect my family. And if you have a fear of an inanimate object, don't tell me by me wearing a gun that you can't see, number one, is going to make you fearful. Because what do you do every time you see a cop piss your pants and fall down in a fetal position and start rocking yourself? Or do you go running looking for one of your safe spaces? Said it before and I'll say it again. I learned many years ago. I learned when I was 12 years old that being unarmed by a state, not allowed to carry a weapon to protect yourself, I saw what happens to you. I saw with my own eyes when my father was shot. And that criminal walked into his work illegally carrying in the state of New Jersey. That didn't stop that criminal from carrying a gun. Even though murder and attempted murder is illegal in the state of New Jersey, that did not stop amped attack. They came at me in massive forces this time. I got a couple of them, but I drove most of them back. Nope. Your scout's dead. I learned a long time ago that criminals are not going to pay attention to our laws. Criminals are going to do what criminals do. Break laws. That guy did not care that attempted murder and murder was illegal, but yet he still went and did it. What makes people think that 1,001 federal gun laws is going to stop the next idiot from shooting somebody? Do you know what's going to stop the next idiot from shooting somebody? Knowing that everybody's armed around him. That, yes, he might get one or two people, but that's all he's going to get. I'd rather have a chance of being able to defend myself than to be huddling in a corner trying to explain to my daughter why she's going to die. Trying to explain to her because a bunch of you liberals don't have the balls and have fear of an inanimate objects. I don't want to have to explain to my daughter why we're going to die because of you. Because let me tell you something, people. When you go through a shooting like that, there is nobody around to help. There's no one to come to change colostomy bags. There's no one there to make your family feel better. There's no one there to have your children cry on their shoulder. There's no one there at all. And there's no one there the day you get shot because you can't protect yourself. Because not a single one of these pussies that stands up against guns would stand in front of you to protect you. But I can tell you this, those who carry a gun would be more than welcome to stand up and help protect you. Because they have a way of shooting back. Our government wants to have an unarmed populace. An unarmed populace is easier to rule than an armed populace. You're listening to the Reaver of Common Sense right here on SHR Media, High Plains Pundit Radio, ICRN Network, YouTube, Spreaker, iTunes, and Red Nation Rising Radio. We will be right back.
Listening to the SHR Media Network.
Now, Brownells, we know you may have only one shot to harvest that trophy, so we have thousands of accessories and replacement parts to improve your chances. We know how much you love to shoot, so our gunsmiths articles and videos will help you do more and get more out of your guns. We also value your hard work and money. That's why only Brownells backs up everything we sell with a 100% unconditional lifetime guarantee. Brownells, the world's largest supplier of firearm accessories and gunsmithing tools.
My name is Chris Peranto, call sign Tonto. I was with the Global Response Staff. We were the security element for the Central Intelligence Agency in Benghazi, Libya on 9/11/2012. Myself and my team responded to an attack that killed Ambassador Chris Stevens, Sean Smith, and two of my teammates, Tyrone Woods and Glenn Doherty. Radical Islam is basically terrorism in a nutshell. It wants to not only put down Western values, it wants to kill anybody that supports those Western values, which is freedom, which is Christianity, and which is also anything that looks poorly on Sharia law. We've allowed it again to grow into something that it shouldn't be, and it's becoming stronger and stronger every day that we don't lead from the front. Obama and Hillary, by avoiding the phrase radical Islam, they're being politically correct. They don't see it for what it is, and that's straight up destroying the Western world. Radical Islam doesn't have a fear. They will give up their lives. They will detonate themselves. They will do anything they can to fulfill Sharia law and kill the infidels. If we're not able to even say radical Islam, the word radical Islam, there's no way we can fight it. There's no way we can defeat it. The United States of America doesn't lead from behind. We are always setting the example. If not, we're going to see terrorism get bigger and bigger, and eventually it's just going to be continual lone wolf attacks in the United States. And I don't want that to happen to my kids. I don't want to see my family go through that. Please join me in waking up Washington in this fight on radical Islam, seeing the threat that it really is. Sign up at leadingfromthefront.org.
Breaking news. According to the latest report coming out of SHR Media, a merchandise store to support both the Reaver of Common Sense and SHR Media has just been unleashed to the general public. Be forewarned that this site can be contagious and numerous items can be purchased to support the best news programming. Go to Reaver.one website and click on the store link to check out the merchandise.
Listening to Reaver of Common Sense, hosted by my dad, Jersey Joe. Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch the Reaver of Common Sense show, hosted by Jersey Joe, right here on shrmedia.com and highplainsdailynews.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else, so consider this your fair warning.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians,
You got a business. That you didn't build that.
a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean,
Dude, I'm not saying cop for the stupid promo.
Sackhead Clint,
All good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
also starring Sacco as the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, 'cause I'm drinking.
They are the Sackheads Radio Show. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on shrmedia.com.
Every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can catch the Southside Mud Show with its hosts, the Jersey Boys, Jersey Joe and Crash, right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio, where we will be digging up the dirt.
Times are dark. The people misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation in confusion needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, High Plains Talk Radio, Live Rebooting Liberty, and YouTube for a unique brand of commentary on the unpleasant blind guide. Because truth is not always pleasant.
If you miss a show, don't worry. You can catch the replays two ways, rebootingliberty.com or the Reaver of Common Sense.com. While you're there on Reaver of Common Sense, don't forget, drop in your email and keep up to date on everything going on, or click the like button on the Facebook widget. Now on to the Reaver of Common Sense.
Listening to the SHR Media Network.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show. And welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense show. I am your host, Jersey Joe, and I'm making sense out of this senseless. The Jersey Takeovers here, we have expanded to 2 hours every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Remember to join a live chat. Just go to Reaver.1. Click on the live stream. And that's right, you can go to Reaver.1, clicking on the live stream, and watch a live broadcast of the show. Now, do you want to support the show? Do you want to support SHR Media? Go to Reaver.1/shop. That is REAVER.ONE/SHOP. Sorry, I am totally distracted. Fox News has their outnumbered show, which is like 4 women and 1 guy. And there is this blonde on. Catherine, I can't pronounce the last name. Oh my God. Oh. I'm in love. I'm in love. Sorry, guys. I'm like, holy Nikes. I'm speechless. I am. That. I know, bad. I'm married. I'm just looking. I even went out to my wife. I was like, you gotta turn it on. Holy shit. And she just started laughing at me. Yes, my wife finds this funny. Looking something up real quick before we get back going. Come on. I'm trying to find out who this chick is. I've never. She's also a comedian. Woohoo. And she wears these glasses. It's just like, oh, God. Sorry. I know, nothing to do with my show, but that just totally distracted me. Totally. You know how it is with men. We get easily distracted. So, a shocking poll has come out, and Trump's black support has shot up 6 times. Times 6, I should say, in a week. 1 week, his support went up 6 times. That right there is, whew. And out of all of them, it's actually pretty funny because who did the poll? It's left-leaning Los Angeles Times. It's a national tracking poll of the presidential campaign. Picked up a sharp uptick in black support for Republican nominee Donald Trump, which is now pegged at 14.6%. When a daybreak poll began July 10th, Trump's support among black voters was 4.6%, and he fluctuated between 5.4% August 1st and 2.5% August 11th. And he went up to... He went up to now, as I said, 14.6%. And the upswing in support for Trump more than 500% above his low list than a week previous comes after the New York City developers addressed Tuesday in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. In that speech, Trump made his most direct play for black support in the community. And he wanted to say how, which we talked about earlier, we reject the bigotry of the Hillary Clinton, which panders to and talks down to the community of colors and sees them only as vote, not as individual human beings worthy of a better future. Well, it seems to have rung true. And as I said, there's a lot of people that because of the Obama administration, what has happened, they're waking up. And that message really hit a nerve. I don't want to say hit a nerve, but spoke to a lot of people that they agreed with that statement, and it kind of changed their support. Now, it was a risk, they're saying, because Trump's campaign had planned the event. This was before Sunday's riot, less than an hour south in a black neighborhood of Wisconsin's largest city. The main theme of the speech was law and order and the need to back up law enforcement in a climate where police officers are now targeted as enemy of the common people. Listen, I don't think a majority of the black community views the police as an evil entity. I really don't think that. I think just as with most of this shit that's going on with the Democrats, it is a small, coerced group. I honestly think this Black Lives Matter is mostly a small group within the black community. And they're mostly paid agitators from the Democrat Party. Not all. We've seen the leaders have been paid. I think majority of the black community are like everybody else. They're law-abiding. They want a better world. They want a better government. It goes on. I think most of them want to go to work, provide for their family, live their lives, and go on. I don't think they believe in that these cops are racist because the incident in Milwaukee, now all of a sudden it's kind of died down and disappeared. Why? Because it turned out the gentleman had a gun. There's video of the guy having a gun, turning on the police with a gun, and he was shot by a black officer, which totally blows all the theories right out of the water of Black Lives Matter, that it's a hunting of black people, it's racism against black people. It was a black officer that did the shooting. And if you notice, it kind of just died down and died out. Why? Because they don't have any facts backing them. As soon as the facts came out about Baltimore, everything died down. When the facts of Ferguson came out, it started to die down. They're rioting when there's misinformation put to these people. They're playing to the fears of certain people. And then once facts are coming out, I think a lot of these people are going, shit, we were wrong. And they don't come out. The only ones that are out there are paid agitators. And yes, is there people out there that say, hey, we are being targeted for harassment from police. There's stats to show that in inner cities, police officers are targeting the black community for harassment. If you want to, I don't want to say the harassing, because I mean it's hard to say yes when you're in an area that has a high population of black people and a high amount of crime rate being committed in those areas is by the black community. And I'm not saying black people are criminals. That's not what I'm saying. When you're talking in these communities, and the gangs do it. They do it. I mean, I remember when working up in Trenton, New Jersey area. You would be driving around Trenton. You'd see all these black gangbangers. And they'd be wearing a white tank top or a white T-shirt, jeans, and boots. Those tan work boots. And everybody was walking around in them. And me being stupid at one time, I said, why the hell is everybody dressed the same? Am I missing something? And I got kind of slapped in the head, and it was no, because if someone goes and commits a crime, what's the what's the alert going to be put out for? A black gentleman wearing a white T-shirt, jeans, and, work boots. How are the cops going to stop everybody? So then what happens is the cops start harassing people that may have nothing to do with that crime, but they're also dressing all the same because of that fact so that the cops can't find anybody. And then they get pissed off because, well, they say they've been harassed. Well, I'm sorry. How can you say that when everybody's looking the same? And you're doing it on purpose. And it's not. There is a fine line. But a majority of these people are out just to live their lives. They're no different than me. They're no different than you. They just want to live their lives. I think some of them are waking up to the bullshit that the Democrat Party has been feeding them for decades. We have a candidate that's not afraid to go out there and say, hey, this is what the Democrats been doing over all these years. They've been feeding you all this bullshit. Somehow my printer just turned on. I moved the fan a little bit and the printer turned on. I'm like, shit. Trump's not afraid to point out the bullshit that the Democrats have been doing for years. Not many politicians have the balls to go out and do that. It's a picture of nothing. So I don't think it was that big of a risk that Trump to go out there, but him calling out the bullshit helped him. And Trump took that straight on. The main victims of these riots are law-abiding black citizens living in these neighborhoods. And I never understood when you riot and you're burning down and destroying your own neighborhoods. And then you blame it on everybody else for the damage and why there's no businesses in your neighborhoods. Because businesses are afraid. Because if you're going to riot, that's what you're going to do. I don't understand the reasoning behind it. But a majority of these people live in these neighborhoods and they don't agree with the bullshit. They may not agree with what's going on, but they don't agree with the tactics being used in those neighborhoods. So when Trump goes out and calls a spade, and I'm just using the it's a saying, it has to deal with playing cards. I guess it was a bad analogy to use there, but that's what I used. I ain't going to apologize. It's their homes, their jobs, their schools, their communities that are suffering as a result of the actions of these Democrats. And yes, it's Democrats that are fueling these riots. It's Democrats fueling the fears of these people. It's the Democrats feeding them false information. And it's the Democrats that are paying agitators to start these problems. It's the Democrats with these paid agitators that are lighting the fuse on the powder keg. And Trump went on to say that there is no comparison, there's no compassion in tolerating lawless conduct. Crime and violence is an attack on the poor and will never be accepted in Trump's administration. It has been accepted and actually has been condoned and pushed by the Obama administration. They're enjoying this uprising. They're enjoying this. I don't even want to call it an uprising because uprisings are usually have a legitimate gripe. They're standing up for something that is justified. These groups are standing up and just, I don't want to say terrorists because I hate using that word and people are using it and it doesn't justify to this. These are just radical, ill-informed temper tantrums being thrown. There's nothing justified within their reasonings for any of this. Nothing. All the information they talk about is a lie. There's nothing backing up why they're doing these riots. Nothing. I hate when I hear politicians, they have to go after this minority group. They have to go over that. It really pisses me off. I want to see a politician that just talks to all groups. Bark, bark, bark. My dog's in the background. It just... I want to see everybody talk to every group. And Trump's been trying that. Does he have to go after some of the black votes? Yes. Because the Democrats have been pandering to the black communities, lying to the black communities, riling up the fears of the black community for years. But I'm glad to see Trump is actually out there speaking the truth. Trying to, I don't want to say educate him. I can't think of another word at this time. He's out there speaking the truth of what's going on. He's out there speaking the truth of what the Democrats have been doing. And I'm glad to see him out there doing it finally. We've been hoping a candidate had the guts to do it. He steps out there and just is telling it like it is. And if he keeps giving these kinds of messages all over, it just might seal Hillary's fate. The Democrats have been using minorities for years. I mean, I'm afraid for Florida how it's going to go. Because right now it looks like it's going to be a Trump state. But what Hillary's doing is getting citizens from Puerto Rico. She's pandering to them, getting them to move to the United States, especially with a downturn economy. Getting them to move to the United States, which is real easy because it's a territory. So they can come over here with ease. And once they're here in the United States, they can vote. So they're flooding Florida with Puerto Rican residents. It's the only way they can win. Democrats cannot win on the truth and the facts. They cannot go around telling the truth of what they're doing to the people. They would never win, ever. Because the majority of the people are not that dumb. Majority of the people would see how bad the Democrat Party really is. They would see how Democrats are out to destroy everything that is America so that they can go to this globalist, this new world order, this one world nation. And there's so many different names for it. What it comes down to is, and if you watch what Obama's been doing, he's been turning control of a lot of things over to the UN, trying to get the UN to take over our police forces, to allow them to have oversight of our police forces. And don't believe me? Look it up. I would not be surprised that shortly after he leaves office as president that he does get a position within the UN, a high-ranking position. It would not shock me or surprise me at all. We need to kick the UN out of the United States. The freeloading sons of bitches that they are. They get a free ride in the United States. Go put them over in one of those socialist countries in Europe and let them pay for the UN's building, property, and all that. The UN is not doing what it was assembled to do. We need to get the hell out of the UN before it is the destruction of the United States. You're listening to the Reaver of Common Sense right here on SHR Media, High Plains Pundit Radio, ICRN Network, YouTube, iTunes, Spreaker, and Red Nation Rising Radio. We will be right back.
Listening to the SHR Media Network.
Now, Brownells, we know you may have only one shot to harvest that trophy, so we have thousands of accessories and replacement parts to improve your chances. We know how much you love to shoot, so our gunsmiths articles and videos will help you do more and get more out of your guns. We also value your hard work and money. That's why only Brownells backs up everything we sell with a 100% unconditional lifetime guarantee. Brownells, the world's largest supplier of firearm accessories and gunsmithing tools.
My name is Chris Peranto, call sign Tonto. I was with the Global Response Staff. We were the security element for the Central Intelligence Agency in Benghazi, Libya on 9/11/2012. Myself and my team responded to an attack that killed Ambassador Chris Stevens, Sean Smith, and two of my teammates, Tyrone Woods and Glenn Doherty. Radical Islam is basically terrorism in a nutshell. It wants to not only put down Western values, it wants to kill anybody that supports those Western values, which is freedom, which is Christianity, and which is also anything that looks poorly on Sharia law. We've allowed it again to grow into something that It shouldn't be. And it's becoming stronger and stronger every day that we don't lead from the front. Obama and Hillary, by avoiding the phrase radical Islam, they're being politically correct. They don't see it for what it is. And that's straight up destroying the Western world. Radical Islam doesn't have a fear. They will give up their lives. They will detonate themselves. They will do anything they can to fulfill Sharia law and kill the infidels. If we're not able to even say radical Islam, the word radical Islam, there's no way we can fight it. There's no way we can defeat it. The United States of America doesn't lead from behind. We are always setting the example. If not, we're going to see terrorism get bigger and bigger, and eventually it's just going to be continual lone wolf attacks in the United States. And I don't want that to happen to my kids. I don't want to see my family go through that. Please join me in waking up Washington in this fight on radical Islam, seeing the threat that it really is. Sign up at leadingfromthefront.org.
Breaking news. According to the latest report coming out of SHR Media, a merchandise store to support both the Reaver of Common Sense and SHR Media has just been unleashed to the general public. Be forewarned that this site can be contagious and numerous items can be purchased to support the best news programming. Go to Reaver.one website and click on the store link to check out the merchandise.
Listening to Reaver of Common Sense, hosted by my dad, Jersey Joe. Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch the Reaver of Common Sense show, hosted by Jersey Joe, right here on shrmedia.com and highplainsdailynews.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else, so consider this your fair warning.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians,
You got a business. That you didn't build that.
a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean,
Dude, I'm not saying confidence, stupid pro.
Sackhead Clint,
All good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
also starring Sacco as the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, 'cause I'm drinking.
They are the Sackheads Radio Show. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on shrmedia.com.
Every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can catch the Southside Mutt Show with its hosts, the Jersey Boys, Jersey Joe and Crash, right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio, where we will be digging up the dirt.
Times are dark. The people misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation in confusion needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, High Plains Talk Radio, Live Rebooting Liberty, and YouTube for a unique brand of commentary on the unpleasant blind guide. Because truth is not always pleasant.
If you miss a show, don't worry. You can catch the replays two ways, rebootingliberty.com or the reaverofcommonsense.com. While you're there on Reaver of Common Sense, don't forget, drop in your email and keep up to date with everything going on, or click the like button on the Facebook widget. Now on to the Reaver of Common Sense.
listening to the SHR Media Network.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show. And welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense. I am your host, Jersey Joe, and I'm trying to make sense out of the senseless. But the Jersey Takeover is here, and we have expanded to 2 hours every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Remember to join the live chat. It's easy. Go to Reaver.one. Click on the live stream. You can also watch a broadcast of the show live while you're doing that. I try to make it as simple as possible. Actually, I didn't even check to see if it's working today, but I know I didn't hear nothing from a couple of people, so I'm pretty sure it's working properly. I got a new program that's help automating the live feed page. So all I got to do is start the program up that I use for the live broadcast and just go from there. I don't have to do no programming, no nothing with the website like I was doing before. It'll automatically now, when the live show's not broadcasting, it will post older shows. And it'll let you know when I'm broadcasting live on the page and when I'm not live. That's perfect. It's working. Holy shit. It's actually working. I'm surprised. Well, I'm not surprised. I shouldn't say that. I'm actually getting pretty good with this website. Now something's going to go wrong with it that I got to get help with. And I'm shocked. I'm happy. Yeah, I just turned it on and I'm watching myself attack Gantz. So, that's working. Cool. I'm happy. All right. Now, what are we going to do? Actually, I was just talking to a friend of mine. I responded to a message on Facebook, but still talking back and forth. And the head of DHS is saying, well, Obama's got a busy schedule. You can't expect him to get down to Louisiana. The only thing busy on his schedule is vacations and golfing. But you know what? Let him. Because the more he's golfing, the more that he's on vacation, the less his mind is on the government, the less damage he can goddamn do to this country. So you know what? Let him go on his vacations. Let him do his golfing. Because as I said, the more that he's busy doing that, the less damage he can do. Well, Donald Trump not long ago was down here in Florida. He was at Kissimmee, Florida, giving a speech at a rally. And the former Orlando mayoral candidate, Randy Ross, lambasted President Barack Obama for an attempt to blame guns for the Orlando terror attack instead of blaming radical Islam. While victims were lying in the hospital, families were grieving, funeral arrangements were being made for the victims, our city mourning, Obama turned the conversation into one of gun control. Said Ross, a gay speaker who is speaking at the Donald Trump August 11th rally in Kissimmee, Florida. And according to the Advocate, Ross said Obama's speech wrongly switched the emphasis from the threat of radical Islam to a plea for more gun control for law-abiding citizens. The death of 45 innocent people was an attack on the gay community. It was an attack on the Hispanic community, but moreover, it was an attack on America, said Ross. Ross asserts that President Obama, guns are not the problem. Box cutters are not the problem. Box trucks are not the problem. Pressure cookers are not the problem. The problem can be summed up in 3 words he seems to not be willing to say: radical Islamic terrorism. And if you've listened to my show, now I don't talk about the box cutters that much, but I do talk about the pressure cookers. Yeah, I have brought up the box cutters more than I actually thought. Those are not the problems. The guns are not the problem. It says radical Islamic terrorism. And he does nothing about it. He does absolutely zero. It was reported that Democrats in the Senate also blamed guns in the days after weeks after the Orlando attack. Senate Democrats pushed for gun control bill in the aftermath of Orlando attack, all 4 of which were voted down on June 20th. But Trump moved in the opposite directions. Days after the Orlando attack, Trump responded by pointing out that the nightclub was a gun-free zone. I've been pointing that out. It seems like 95% of these shootings anymore, the major shootings that we hear about, are all happening in gun-free zone. And I love pointing that out to these anti-gun nut jobs. Because they talk about what can we do, the sensible gun controls. Well, first thing, do away with gun-free zones. And we might start doing away with some of these shootings. Because this is where the criminals, whether it's some nut job or some radicalized Islamic terrorist, whether a lone wolf attack, which is bullshit, they're being coerced by an ideology that is running rampant and looking successful. So they're able to convince people to do these acts in the name of radical Islamic terrorism. Now, if we do away with these gun-free zones, it takes away some of the spots for them to commit these crimes. You do it. You make it so people can carry and protect, and you'll see a drop even more. We are at a record low of gun violence in this country. But you wouldn't know by the Democrats' mouths. Now, I'm 50-50 on the nightclubs, whether someone should be allowed to carry. Because you're going in there to drink, you're going in there to alter your mind. I don't know if that's the best place to have a gun. I'm 50-50 on it. Well, 60-40, I should say. But most of these places that these gun-free zones, mass shootings have happened, if someone with a gun was there, they could have stopped the numbers from being so high. You may not stop all the shootings, but you're going to stop the numbers from being so goddamn high. I don't understand it. It's something that's very simple to understand. Stop the bans, you're going to stop a lot of these shootings. Stopping law-abiding is not going to stop the criminals. It's that simple, people. And I'll keep running my mouth and keep pushing these facts every day if I have to, until people start understanding. Because there is nobody there to help when you're dealing with a criminal shooting or killing your loved ones. There's no one there to comfort your kids. There's no one there to change a colostomy bag except your family. All these groups, they're not there. They'll use you to try to get their agenda pushed. Because, let me tell you, I only see the anti-gunners allowed to speak. How about all the family members from Sandy Hook, from Columbine, and there is a lot of families that lost loved ones that do not believe in this gun control bullshit. They do not blame law-abiding gun owners. Your background checks, all the laws that you are pushing that are already in effect have not stopped these shootings. You want to push more laws when current laws are not being enforced. And that's what a lot of us are pointing out. Current laws are not being enforced. Why don't we enforce them? And it will stop a lot of issues. Enforce what we have. Stop putting more laws that they can't enforce, won't enforce, don't have the people to enforce, don't have the money to enforce. All it is Democrats pandering to your fears. That's all it is. They are pandering. They're putting feel-good laws up as they push their agenda. And yes, they do want to ban your guns, people. I will keep saying, why did they hire a think tank and pay millions of dollars for that think tank? And the results were you can't ban guns outright. The American people will never allow it. You have to slowly make it so hard that nobody can actually get a gun. You have to do it over time. You make it stricter and stricter and stricter to the point that nobody wants to go through all the work. So once it gets to that point, then the people go, when it's banned, I couldn't get one, so who gives a shit? What do you think the Democrats are doing? But everybody remains quiet on that. Even the NRA, they don't talk about that gun think tank that the Democrats held. But they keep allowing this pandering of people's fears. They keep letting the Democrat play on these fears and push false information. I know, I'm going on rants today about the Democrats and their guns. I will never apologize on that one. Is there people that shouldn't be allowed to carry? Yes. If you've committed a felony, you have proven that you are not responsible enough or trustworthy enough to carry a gun. If you are abusing your other half, you shouldn't be able to carry a weapon. I'm sorry. I know that disarms you, but you've proven that you don't have the you're not responsible enough to be trusted with that power. But when we start talking mental issues like the Democrats are pushing right now, what is or isn't a mental issue? Because they're trying to make conservatism a mental issue. Those who believe in protecting themselves and believe in the Second Amendment, they are pushing that we are mentally ill for wanting to own a gun. So I caution all conservatives with this mental issue aspect. You need to back off of that. Because they're setting us up. They're setting us up. Because who gets to decide what is or isn't a mental issue? And it really comes down to that. What is or isn't a mental issue? And we're supposed to leave it up to the Democrats, the liberals, the progressives to decide who has a mental issue and who doesn't. Because my way of thinking, progressives have a mental issue. They're trying to destroy freedoms and everything great about this country. You got to be mentally ill to want that. Just as they think anybody with a conservative, small government, pro-gun, is mentally issue. And trust me, I've been told it. I've been told I do not deserve to carry a gun because my father was shot. I don't have the mental capacity. I'm too emotionally involved. I don't have the right to carry a gun anymore. I need all this counseling because I'm supposedly grieving still. I'm not grieving. My father's alive. We've gotten over all the mental issues that came along with it. We've dealt with it as a family because none of these anti-gun groups were there to help. Gun groups weren't even there to help us. Nobody was there to help us. In fact, the newspapers almost got us killed. And you ask how, because they never caught the guy. And they were putting our address that Joseph Antrobus has identified the shooter, and they're working on a sketch, and he lives at, and they gave an address. Thank God they gave the wrong address. But the newspapers actually put our address in the paper saying my father has identified the shooters, or the shooter, who was never caught. That was just... And they wanted us unarmed at the time. That's New Jersey for you. That's why I never took Chris Christie. I never trusted him when he ran for government. As president. I'll never trust that man. Because he was asked as a Republican governor, would he look at, trying to help out with the Second Amendment in New Jersey, and he laughed it off and said, nope, he ain't doing nothing. He left it alone. Until it went public nationally how strict their gun laws are. It allowed a woman to get killed who was getting threatened by her ex. I will not sit idly by and watch my country get destroyed anymore. The Democrats, intentionally, unintentionally, I don't care, are destroying this country. And some Republicans are doing it too. As I said, it seems that there's more of a globalist versus nationalist issue going on in this country. And the globalists really want us unarmed. They want us defenseless. They want us unpatriotic. They want us caring more about all these other countries than ourselves. And the list goes on and on and on. Well, I care about my country. I care about my families. I care about U.S. citizens before I care about other countries. And they say we got to be compassionate. Well, I'll tell you what. You be compassionate of the American people before being compassionate about people who want to break our laws. Then we'll talk. Because that's what the Democrat, liberal, progressive movement does. They care more about the people who break our laws, care more about foreigners than they do about their citizens. And the one thing I find funny is the Clinton Foundation, who's been taking foreign donations for years, which means that's one of the ones that's helping Hillary's campaign, is from her Clinton Foundation. That was paid for by foreign nations. But she says the Clinton Foundation will no longer accept foreign and corporate donations if Hillary Clinton is elected president. If. That means right now they're still accepting foreign and or corporate donation. Which means she's being funded by foreign governments and corporates. The ones that she bitches about and complains about on her campaign are the ones that are financing her and continuing to finance. but yet only. They should never have been taking foreign donations. Because now it comes to what money's what? Where's the money coming from for her campaign? My buddy was responding to my comment. And he agreed when Obama's on vacation, it's less he can screw up. And the other thing that they don't like telling you, but Americans and immigrants in America, the legal immigrants, are backing Donald Trump's immigration vetting policy by more than a 2-to-1 spread. American and immigrants support Donald Trump's calls for ideological vetting of would-be immigrants by more than 2-to-1, according to a new poll from Morning Consult. That's bad news for Hillary Clinton and her ally progressives who are trying to persuade swing voters that Trump's policy for immigrants are extreme and bigoted. How is making sure that we are getting people that want to be in this country, that care about this country, in the country, hateful and bigotry? How is it wanting to protect our country is bad? I've never seen a woman talk about destruction of the U.S. and Americans sitting there going, yes, I want to vote for that. I want to vote so I have somebody coming to kill me and my family. Let's bring them in. We got to be compassionate. Let's bring them in. Let's bring them in so they can kill my little Johnny here. Hey, I didn't have the balls to abort him, so let's have Jihad Johnny come and kill little Johnny. It would not surprise me if a Democrat actually came out and said that. Because they sit there and cheer. Oh, look at me. I had an abortion. Oh, praise me. I wouldn't murder my child because I was just too much of a... too drunk to wear protection, and I got knocked up by some guy in a bar. Listen, shit happens. I'm not going to, but there's too many of them. Oh, it's my fourth one. I get the fifth one free. They're punching my card for me right now. I get the fifth abortion free. Little do they know that they'll never be allowed to have children later. Well, not allowed, but their body will be going, hey, you aborted too many times. You fucked up your lady parts. No more children for you. I don't understand it, people. I don't. And I can't understand how the time has flown by today. It has just whizzed by. The weekend is here, and as always, I want to see all of you be safe, have a great weekend, have some fun, but be safe. And thank you for listening. I try to put out what I'm thinking, without filter. And with that, it's just a humbling feeling that I know so many actually listen to the show and approve and like the show. Thank you. And I will see everybody Monday. And Tuesday, we have a special guest calling in first thing out of the show, and we'll see how long he'll stay on. Hey, he can stay the whole show. And I always screw up his name. If you listen to the Sackhead show the last couple of weeks, he goes by BZ. He'll be calling in. We'll be bullshitting about anything and everything. You know me, when I schedule this stuff, I never really have a game plan. I just go where the show takes me. So, be safe. I'll see you Monday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. for Reaver of Common Sense. Have a great day. You've been listening to the Reaver of Common Sense with its host, Jersey Joe. You can tune in every day, Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on hppundit.com and shrmedia.com.